Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the video. Today we are going to be answering your assumptions about us. So we asked on Instagram what your assumptions are about us as a couple and us as a family, and they're pretty funny. So
not all of them are funny. I haven't seen them all, but Rihanna showed me a few, and a couple of them are a little bit mean.
Yeah, some people went savage with it, but
that's okay. We can take it.
We're going to keep it honest, keep it real, and Tiana said she wanted to tell you guys something.
My cheek hurting.
Your cheek is hurting. She bit the inside of her cheek and it's been bothering her for like 2 days. But we have a fun day planned. We're going to be answering the assumptions as we go throughout the day, so it's not going to be like a boring sit-down Q&A. And we're going to start right off with one that we have for Tiana. Tiana.
Yeah.
So people assume that I'm the disciplinarian in the family. Like a ton of people assume that. So we're going to ask Tiana, who gets you in more trouble, mommy or daddy?
What? Girl, when's the last time you even got in trouble?
I think it's because I talk like really calm and like more quiet, and you talk like more stern and your voice is deeper, so I think it just feels like that. But I think it's pretty equal.
Tiana Haven.
Tiana actually requested that we come to the park before we start running errands, so here we are doing some swinging, and we are going to address assumption number 2. Assumption number 2 is that I wear the pants, I make the decisions, I call the shots, and a lot of people actually said this one.
Oh, come on now. Okay, this is fair. That I will say that you make most of the day-to-day decisions because you are able to make decisions faster because I overanalyze everything. So I do default to you a lot, and I trust you with all decisions because we think so much alike. But I do get a say in things, and I would say that I make the bigger decisions, the financial planning, and like future decisions.
Yes.
Is that fair?
I think that's fair. You make the bigger picture decisions, and I make pretty much the day-to-day, month-to-month decisions.
Yeah, I make the more important ones. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Whatever. But we are a team, and we do discuss everything and decide everything together.
Yeah, like I think, we share everything, plans, bank accounts, whatever, and so we trust each other. And so I don't really worry that you're going to do something too crazy.
Too crazy.
Yeah,
just a little
other than
crazy.
our grocery bill. You get a little crazy on that.
Just a little. That's not even my fault. That's just the groceries now, man. I'm telling you. Tell them below. It's just the groceries.
$300 in snacks.
We just finished errand number 1, and we originally weren't going to like share the details of it on the vlog, but I think we really should.
Yeah, I think it was a nice thing, and maybe it'll encourage others to do the same around the holidays if you're able.
So what we did was we donated $500 to the local shelter. It's the Davis Children's Shelter here, and it is where kids live when they don't have a foster home or a permanent home to live in. So a lot of people do donate stuff to younger kids, like toys and things like that, but the kids that live in the Davis shelter are mostly teenagers, so they have trouble getting donations for them. So we reached out to our old social worker, and she said money is the best thing because then the kids can pick exactly what they want. So we donated $500, and they're gonna go Christmas shopping.
Yeah, we were originally going to buy them a bunch of stuff and drop off a bunch of presents, but the teenagers, of course, they're tricky to purchase for because you don't know their sizes, you don't know what they're into. We actually let Tiana take the check in and drop the check off herself so that she can understand giving as well. And she did something really cute. She actually had $1 in her pocket as well. And she pulled it out and I said, "What are you gonna do with that?" She said, "I'm gonna give it to the kids." And it was so sweet.
That was so sweet. So we just wanted to share, mostly just to encourage people to like think outside the box when you're giving, and donating to older kids is super helpful because most people don't think of that when they're trying to think of a way to help. We are heading downtown now to get some coffees at a local coffee shop before we go check out a house that was recently purchased, and Tiana already fell asleep, so John and I are gonna answer assumption number whatever we're on now because I can't keep track. But the next assumption is that I am only frugal because you are frugal and that you don't let me spend money, and if it wasn't for you that I would spend a lot of money. We got this assumption in various different words, but a lot of people thought that for some reason.
So I'm definitely the frugal one. I'm definitely the one that introduced us to frugality, but now Rihanna is actually naturally really frugal. Not as frugal as me, which is a good thing. I need some balance, but you're naturally more frugal than when I met you.
I don't think that's true. I have to disagree because I feel like that I have been like very conscious of spending and like tried to spend the least and save money since I was like 15 and started working.
Babe, when I first met you, we got our first apartment.
Yeah.
You blew your entire savings on a couch set.
Yeah, but you wanted the couch set and you let
But you did too. And your finances weren't my responsibility then.
I just disagree. I feel like you are more frugal than me, but I am naturally inclined to like not spend a lot
Yeah,
of
you're
money.
you're not a big spender. You're not. You don't like fancy things. You don't like Gucci and Prada and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So naturally, you're not a big spender. But I would say that you do technically spend more, or would spend more money than me.
Okay.
Like we would not travel as much because I like to. Like I'm maybe too frugal.
Yeah.
So you like encourage us to spend money on things that matter
Fair.
and will give us an experience.
Okay, fair. And going back to the couch thing, I think you're right. I guess frugality is, I was frugal, but I was also not financially literate.
You were frugal, but you didn't know what it meant, or you
Yeah,
didn't know the
yeah.
reason for being frugal.
Right, like I would buy a cheap shirt over an expensive shirt, but I didn't know like to save an emergency fund and like invest money and all that stuff. So I guess
Also,
you're
I
right.
wasn't frugal at first. I was cheap. I still have some cheap tendencies, but I would like turn off the lights before we left the house, unplug light bulbs, do all types of crazy stuff in order to save pennies. So I actually started off being really cheap, and then I learned the meaning of frugality, which is saving intentionally and not saving just to save. And so I would say that we've evolved together, and we're both pretty frugal, but I would say that you're a little bit more of the spender.
Thankfully.
Thankfully. Yeah,
Yes.
I'd say that. You give us a balance.
Yes, I think I do. And John does not tell me not to spend money, or doesn't tell me like I'm not allowed to spend money, because that is kind of like what some people were hinting towards.
Oh no, if I scrolled our Amazon cart, I would probably have a heart attack.
It's really not that bad, but you probably would have a heart attack, but it's not that bad. So like if Tiana and I want something, we get it. And if it's a big purchase, we all talk about it together. And yeah, that's a good answer to that.
Agreed.
Cheers. Oh, I forgot she's sleeping. Okay. Oh, good. I didn't wake her up. I got
Like I said, spending money.
I got-
Spending money.
John an iced sugar-free vanilla latte with oat milk, and I got the exact same thing in hot, because we're opposites, but we're very similar, which leads me into the next assumption. And the next assumption is that we are like-minded on everything and rarely disagree on subjects.
Well, I'll tell you what, you take this because I'm illegally parked, and we will answer it on the go.
Okay, now that you're not illegally parked, I think that is pretty true, pretty fair. On all major topics, we agree. I can't
think that's
of a
key
major
for like a
topic.
successful marriage, in my opinion. I'm not saying you can't have your differences or disagreements or think differently on some subjects, but if you're like way off, I feel like that would make a really difficult, like long-lasting relationship.
Yes, especially if it's something like moral or ethical that you feel really strongly about. I think it would be really hard.
Yeah, I just think like there's already enough to find to argue about in a marriage. Could you imagine like being way off on like big subjects, like veganism, for example, for us? I'm not saying we couldn't do it, but it would make life really difficult, I think.
Definitely more
Yeah.
difficult. I feel like I'm trying to think of something that we actually disagree on that's really important, and I can't think of anything.
Something we disagree on that's really important.
Can you take your drink, because I'm about to drop it?
Where is it? Oh.
Okay, I think something big we disagree on is, I mean, not like disagree, but I say, like, keep doing nice things for people, even if they're not doing nice things
This is a big
back.
one. This is a big one.
Yeah, and like, I believe in karma, and like, don't expect anything in return, and you say that allows me to like justify people walking over me.
Yes. So Rihanna has a huge heart. I'm not saying I don't have a heart, but Rihanna like forgives everybody for everything. Kind of just like, if they do her wrong, she'll still be nice the next day. And I was like that for a while, I think, and I still do it. But I think my mindset is like, if people will show you who they are, you just have to believe them. And if they're going to like screw you over or do you wrong or talk bad about you or lie or cheat or steal from you, I'm not saying I don't believe in second chances, but if they do this repeatedly, then I'm not sure you should keep giving them excuses. And you do.
Yeah.
Someone could rob from Rihanna right now, tomorrow, and the next day, and then on the fourth day, you're still going to be nice to them.
Yeah,
Usually.
I think it is like a problem, because I'm always like, oh, well, they do that because of this. Or like, you know, like I can justify it to
Comment down
myself.
below, because I'm very curious how other people feel about this. Do you believe in third chances? I always believe in second chances, but do you guys believe in third chances? Like if somebody screwed you over twice now, do you give them a third chance? Do you continue to be nice to them? Rihanna says yes, always. I say Eventually, you just have to remove some people from your life.
I think it depends on the situation. Like maybe if somebody asked for a third chance, but they were finally sober or something.
Okay, yeah, I mean, there's
'Cause it kinda
always
depends.
exceptions to the rule. I'm just
Yeah.
saying in general.
We weren't going to do another question in the car because we've been in the car a lot this video, but we have kind of a long drive out to St. Albans to see a house that you guys are going to want
You
to stay
said St.
tuned
Albans
for.
like somebody knows where that's at.
Okay, it's like 20 to 30 minutes from where we live, and this house is crazy. John showed me pictures of it, so he's going to take you inside to see it. But while we're going there, I just thought, like, why not do another question?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Okay.
I disagreed that we should do another question.
Yeah, see, we do disagree. The next question is, I assume you never fight, and a lot of people said they don't think we fight. Oh, actually, this is a funny one because we got an equal amount of I assume you don't fight, and then I assume there's a lot of drama off camera.
There's definitely not a lot of drama off camera, but we are married for and been together for 15, 16 years now. So yes, we have our disagreements, we have our arguments, we have our bad days. Of course we do. Of course Rihanna gets on my nerves on the daily.
I would say more than we fight, we bicker. Like
Yeah.
over dumb stuff, like John didn't rinse out his protein shaker, or like I didn't shut the door, or like just something dumb.
Or you didn't shut your mouth.
Yeah.
That was the one. Oh my
John.
God, double coffee.
John, don't knock over my
That
coffee.
was so funny. I almost spilled the coffee.
Okay, so we bicker, we say our piece, and then we get over it and move on. How often would you say we get in like a big blowout fight? Like a few times a year?
Yeah, at least a daily. Yeah, a couple of times a year. Like we're just both
2 to 4 times
we're
a
both
year.
really tired. We're just like frustrated.
Yeah.
I feel like, and then it's like nothing. We've learned to forgive each other very fast.
Yeah.
Just because over the years, there's no point not talking to each other for a couple of days. We're over those stages, so I'm thankful for that because we wasted a lot of time.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, guys, you have to stop watching social media, YouTube, Instagram, family channels, whatever you're watching. Nothing is perfect. Not everyone is perfect. Everybody has their problems off camera. Everybody has bad days. Everybody has arguments. Everybody has disagreements. We're real just like anybody else. But with that being said, I will say that I am super thankful for our relationship and how well we get along 99% of the time. And then we're well past the stages when we started off where we were like in real petty arguments and fights and like posting it on Facebook. We went through all that when we were in our 20s, and I'm so thankful that like that's not a thing for us anymore. And,
Thank God.
So what you see, the love here, is definitely real. But yes, off camera, some days, like I said, Brianna gets on my nerves.
Whenever we're fighting and I don't want to be fighting or John doesn't want to be fighting, I'll show you what we do, okay? We're sitting here in the car and we're both like really mad at each other, and then whoever doesn't want to fight more goes like this. And that's like a truce.
Well, I always let out that sigh, like, fine.
Yeah, but usually you do this. Actually, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
So
I know how to, if I ever want Rihanna to stop being upset with me, food works. You want to go eat?
Yeah.
You want to go, or I'll bring you a snack.
Oh, I thought you were really asking me.
See, look. All right, so we finally made it to the house. Tiana is still asleep. She's going on like a 45-minute nap there, but that's okay. We're over here at this house. I was here maybe a week ago. This one is pretty bad on the inside. I'll show you guys a sneak peek. But before that, what's the next assumption about us?
This one's really funny.
Okay.
Ready? John may look a little off, but he's actually really smart. And a lot of
I
other
look a
people
little
said,
off. I don't seem a little off or talk a little off. I look a little off.
And like the variation of this question was like, I think you're both really book smart and street smart. So let's answer it.
No. You want to fight? I look off. You think that's funny, don't you?
It was so funny.
Okay, that's fine. Rihanna is the book smart between the two of us. She can read and remember anything. I can barely read, so that's fair. But I think I have a good amount of street smarts. See, I give up.
John is actually really smart. If he's interested in the subject, if it's not something he's interested in, then don't even try it. I can learn anything even if I'm not interested in it, just to be able to like pass the test or understand it. So I think that's the difference.
Yeah, I probably don't need to tell you guys this, but you already know I'm ADHD. It's like really bad. So school was really hard for me. Sitting still at a desk was really hard for me. I can be smart on things I'm interested in, and I go really deep on certain subjects, but knowing everything or a lot of everything is not for me. That's for Rihanna.
And street smarts, I think we're both like relatively street smart. You're definitely more street smart because I like to like not be a pessimist. Is that the word?
Yeah. What does that have to do with being smart about
like
stuff?
if I'm like going somewhere, I wouldn't think the negative automatically, and sometimes you do.
That would be street aware.
Yeah.
I'm more of always looking out and looking around and looking at like what could go wrong, and you don't always think about those things.
Yeah. So you guys were pretty right.
I think we're both relatively smart. Rihanna's the smarter one when you think of traditional smart, but I'm smart too, and I don't look off. I don't look off.
Okay, take him in the house.
You look off.
I'm gonna go sit with Tiana.
No, you look off. Okay, so here's the house. We bought it for only $50,000, but we could not see the inside until after we bought it. And oh boy, there's a few surprises on the inside. And it even came with 2 free cars, which is kind of sounds like it's a good thing, but it's not, because they're impossible to get rid of without the title. Let's take a peek inside. So this isn't a house tour video, so I'm just gonna give you guys a quick little tour of the entrance and the kitchen. Ready for this? Again, we bought this as is. We didn't know any of this was in here, and this is the kitchen. Oh boy. This one's gonna take a little bit of money to clean out. Look who's finally awake! Baby girl, you took a really long nap.
We're gonna have a picnic.
Oh, okay.
I brought peanut butter and jelly stuff.
A little bit coldy. All right, well, I guess they're gonna have a picnic in the driveway. The house is too bad for Tiana to go inside, so I'm gonna go inside and make a quick video. You guys can watch that on my Instagram. And in the meantime, you guys just enjoy yourselves.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next assumption was that Tiana would rather travel than go to school. So what do you think, baby girl? Would you rather go to school all day or travel all the time?
Travel all the time.
Yeah, I thought so. That was a good assumption.
And look how big the kittens are getting. Can you show them?
Yes.
Oh, whoa. They're so much bigger than the last video, and it's only been a week. There's the 3 other babies, all cozy. And there's the mama.
What are you doing? Oh, you look so pretty. I love your dress. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, we're going to do sentences with the front and back sounds. Remember our T and K? Tuck.
Tuck.
Good job.
Now we are at speech therapy. We're in the little mirror room so we can see Tiana through the one-way mirror. And we're down here filming because I think if we put that light on, she's going to be able to see us through the glass. So you ready for another assumption?
I'll hold this.
Okay, thank you. The next assumption is that we have multiple houses, and I don't know why several people said this.
Well, it's probably because maybe they're talking about our rentals. We do own some rental units, but we don't have any secondary homes. So maybe that's what they mean?
Yeah, I think you're right.
But maybe they're forecasting the future, because Rihanna and I have actually been shopping for a second home, maybe in Florida, Arizona, Texas, or California.
Yeah, well, we have been like Zillow window shopping, I wouldn't say.
Yes.
It's been too serious, but it would be cool to have like an Airbnb that we could also go stay in. And another assumption was that we are serious about our finances, that we're good budgeters, that we don't play with finance. We got a lot of those assumptions.
Yeah, that's accurate. We learned at a young age how important it is. Whether you do or do not like money, you do need it and you should respect it. So we learned at a young age that we needed to be very responsible with our finances, and we worked really hard and saved diligently for a long time. We still do, but we did it really, really diligently in our 20s in order to reach financial freedom at a young age, and we're so thankful we did that. So yes, finances, money, we don't worship it, but we understand it and we respect it and the need for it in today's age.
Agreed. We are here to answer some more assumptions, but first we wanted to tell you how Tiana's swim team tryouts went because we're so proud of her.
She made the team. They're gonna bring her on to the youth group?
Future Stars.
Future Stars group. And so it was really cool to watch her jump in the pool. They had her swim the length of the pool. She's a really good swimmer, but she doesn't know technique yet. We've never taught her like the breaststroke or anything like that. So she was working on the freestyle tonight, and the teacher said she did really good for never having to do it before. And so they agreed to bring her in.
Yes, and the backstroke too.
In the backstroke.
So she's going to be on the Future Stars, which is the level before competition level. And she's going to be the only 5-year-old on the team. The next youngest kid is 7, which is kind of crazy. But
I kind of saw how they did it because when we first got there, they had not assessed her yet. And they were like, we really don't have any room in this other group. It's a really small group. But then after seeing her swim, they all of a sudden had room.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way they go about it, so they don't have to let anybody down. But anyway,
it was nice that they did that.
It was really nice, and I'm super excited for Tiana.
So she'll be starting swim team training right after New Year's. That's when it starts, twice a week at the pool. So she is thrilled. And now
we're going to Mexico next week, and we will have a pool there. And I'm going to be working with her on her freestyle.
Oh, I know you are.
Coach John, fully engaged.
In her backstroke. She was learning how to swim on her back, too.
Yeah, can't wait.
So we're going to answer some more assumptions. She's in bed, wiped out from her evening at the pool. And we're going to start right off with a good one. And that is, I assume you guys are not religious.
That's where you're going?
Yeah, John didn't know the questions before we started this.
No.
But yes, I think we should answer it because we don't really have anything to hide.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people follow us that are religious, and I grew up with a super religious background, a super strict household. I was forced to go to church. I was not allowed to question anything. If I did, I got grounded or in trouble. So it was a super strict upbringing regarding or around religion. And ironically, none of those people followed anything that they were preaching. And so when I became 18, I had more and more questions. And by 20 years old, those questions couldn't be answered. And so I just kind of started my own journey. I'm not currently religious, but I don't rule anything out entirely. But at this stage in my life, I do not practice any type of religion. And how about yourself?
So I grew up in a not religious household at all. Like, I didn't even know Easter and Christmas were religious holidays. I never went to church until I was like a teenager, and I spent the night at a friend's house on a Saturday night. So I went to church with them the next morning. That was my first church experience. So church was actually super bizarre to me when I first went, because imagine you don't know anything about that and then you go and hear about the Bible and all that stuff. I respect religion, and I can totally understand how it could be a huge part of your life and be so meaningful. And I love to learn about religions and experience them when traveling. But on a day-to-day basis, we just try to practice being good people. And so that's what we kind of live by.
I think a lot of people assume when you're not religious, you're atheist or anti-religious. Mm-hmm. And that's not the case for us. We think most religions are beautiful. And we're happy for people who have found their chosen religion and their thing to look up to in their faith. We're really happy for you. But please don't try to force those onto other people, because everyone comes from different walks of life. They're born in different parts of the world, and just try to be open-minded to other people is what we preach.
Quite a few people assumed your family is complete as a family of 3.
Yeah, I feel that way as of right now, but just like anything else in life, never say never. We have talked about it plenty of times that our doors are still open, but we're not on a search.
Exactly. I can't even word that any better. That's exactly how we feel about it. And the next question that was common was, are you tired of people asking when you're going to have biological children?
Yes.
We've answered that question a million times. And yes, obviously, if that's what we were doing, we would talk about it, but
I don't think people understand how rude it sounds when you ask if we're going to have biological children, because it sounds to us, and maybe you don't mean it this way, I'm sure most of you don't, but it sounds like a foster child or an adoptive child isn't enough. That's what it sounds like. Oh, I see that you foster or adopted, but are you going to have your own, is how some people say it. And Tiana is our own. That, we don't view it any differently. So just careful asking that question. I think unless it's very personal level, you know them like family, I would probably pass on asking that.
I definitely agree. I assume you guys want to leave West Virginia.
It is a tricky one.
Yes.
It is a very tricky one. I would say we have so much going on here. We've put down so many roots. we have gotten comfortable here. It's very efficient for us to live here. From all the networking we have to Rihanna's job, how she kind of work whenever she wants. Tiana's friends, even down to like the basketball group I'm with now. We have a lot going on here, but we would love to have more things to do and better weather for sure. So we're constantly on the search, but we don't hate West Virginia. It's probably not our number one choice place to live, but we can't find what that is. So
I think no place is perfect. Like if you move to San Diego and there's so much stuff to do in perfect weather, everything's so busy that like maybe you don't want to get in the car
and expensive.
And drive somewhere. Yeah, because you have to spend a ton of money and wait in line in traffic forever. So West Virginia is definitely good for us where we are at right now. Does West Virginia have its own problems? Yes, of course it does, which every state has problems. No matter where you live, you will find something to complain about. So we have to remind ourselves of that.
Yeah.
But you know, we're just like an open book. If something draws us somewhere and it's a better fit, yes, we're open to going, but are we like, we need to leave West Virginia tomorrow? No. We're looking for a unicorn.
Yeah. We want perfect weather, international airport, Caribbean water.
Not a lot of
cheap.
people.
Not a lot of people. Lots of things to do. Doesn't cost a lot of money. If you guys know where that is, let us know.
I've been watching some basketball. Can't help but feel that John would pick LeBron over MJ as the GOAT.
Assumption correct. Look, I grew up in the 90s, so during the Jordan era, and LeBron. I don't care which one you pick, okay? I have arguments for both, but you have to have them at number 1 and number 2. I don't care which order, but you have to have them at number 1 and number 2, and we're cool. If you start pushing either one of them past second place, now we have a problem. And I've heard people say LeBron's not even top 10. You can go ahead and unsubscribe.
Another assumption was that I don't like sports or I don't really care about sports. It's not that I don't like sports. I have an appreciation for it, the work, the discipline, everything that goes into it. But I feel like I don't have room for it in my bandwidth, so it's not something I like spend my time on.
Yeah, we both used to be bigger football fans in our early 20s. She was a New York Giants fan, I was a Dallas Cowboys fan, but we kind of grew out of that, and I started following LeBron. And so that's the only thing I watch. I only watch NBA and when LeBron's playing, but I don't watch any other sports.
And I only watch the Kansas City Chiefs now, so.
Here we go.
Just
All
kidding.
Taylor Swifty.
You want to do a fire round to wrap it up?
Let's do it. We're going to do a fire round, blow through these questions. We got to do short answers.
Good luck to you.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Tiana loves dogs.
Yes.
You're always happy.
No.
You prioritize your family time over work time.
I do my very best. I'm not always successful, but it's top priority in my mind.
You don't want to adopt pets because you're too busy. That's what we foster.
Yeah,
Long answer short. The reason we foster animals is because we travel so much we don't want to adopt one permanently and then have to leave all the time. Maybe one day we will, but that's the answer.
Pets are a lot of work and a lot of responsibility.
You really want to buy a new car.
What do you answer?
I think like we want to buy a new car, but we are a big on wants versus needs. We don't need to buy a new car.
Yeah.
You're genuine good people.
I think so.
You would never go full-time on YouTube.
Yeah, no, we would never. I feel like we're full-time on YouTube by amount of time, but we would never just put all of our eggs in YouTube.
We work full-time on YouTube, but it is not our full-time endeavor. Does that make
Yes.
sense? Auntie Nini is a hot mess.
Facts. 100%. Even worse than what you see on camera.
Oh my God, stop. He's just messing with her because she watches our videos. Mom is a strict one, dad is a pushover, yes.
What?
Yes.
I'm more strict than you.
No, you're not. You're more like orderly, but you give in easier.
Yeah. You see how cute she is?
Yeah. You guys are gonna travel to Africa for Christmas.
Not for Christmas, but next year, 90% sure.
You're creatures of habit. Same grocery store, same restaurant, same park.
Yes.
That is true.
That's probably me more so than you, but I am very efficient and scheduled out.
You both support each other's aspirations.
Very
Yes.
much so.
You don't own any luxury brand items.
I don't think so.
Does like my MacBook count? Or
Yeah,
the
I don't think
Samsung?
so. I think they're made like Gucci and like Louis Vuitton or like Land Rover. We probably do not own any luxury brands.
No. What's the nicest things we each own? Really quick.
Our
let's
MacBooks?
answer that. Clothes.
And our nicest clothes,
Mine is my North Face jacket my mom gave me for Christmas in 2008.
and mine's my Patagonia jacket that your mom gave me for Christmas this year.
That you love to travel with Tiana.
Very much so.
Your daughter comes first above everything.
No. You. Then,
Aw,
you, then her.
Yes, I think that it's important that our relationship comes first, and so that she can see that. But like, it's pretty much even because our relationship is
She
good.
usually wins.
Yeah, if
Yes.
we had like problems, maybe then that would become more apparent.
Right.
But yeah, you have very different dream destinations for vacations.
I don't think so.
No, definitely not. You would rather spend your money on experiences than things.
Facts.
You go against all the things you said you'd never do before becoming parents.
Yes, especially when it comes to screen time.
Your lives are amazing, but not as perfect as it looks in the vlogs.
Facts, yes. So we can't stress that enough.
Baby girl won't be allowed to have a boyfriend until she's 50.
Facts, but 60.
No.
Based on Tiana's last response, y'all don't care what other people have to say. Bye, haters. That was very cute.
True.
Yes and
It
no.
depends on the person. Okay.
Depends on who's saying it.
It depends. Like, we have an open mind to constructive criticism. It just really depends on the situation.
Simple. Tiana's a daddy's girl.
Yes.
She is a daddy's girl, but
It depends.
you're number one.
Okay, I'm like the default parent for like things that keep you alive, like eating.
I'm the fun one. I'm the fun one, or if she wants carried, or like
go to the park.
wants to wrestle, or you go to the park, or yeah, and I'm fine with that. I think that's a good mix. You have your cameras and phones out all the time, like all the time.
No, definitely not. There's like times where we go through like 2 weeks without filming a single
We went
thing.
3 weeks, so when we got back from Asia, we actually went almost 3 weeks without filming anything.
Yes.
So
We do take a lot of pictures that don't even make it onto social media.
I've done that my whole
I
life.
think parents just do that.
Authoritative parenting style. Both of you are nurturing, responsive, and supportive.
I don't know the parenting style super well, but the description of that sounds about right.
Yeah.
We're not like permissive parents, and like I guess we are gentle parents because we don't do physical discipline, but we just do like what feels right, try to have a good balance, and try to have an open communication household.
I assume John used to be an uptight, neat freak, but now more relaxed, fun since becoming, I guess, a dad. It doesn't show the whole question.
Yes.
I used to have OCD. I used to turn lights on and off.
Yes. So like
I don't know where that went, and I'm glad it's gone, but yeah. I used to turn the lights on and off a couple times before going to bed at night. I don't know. I thought about
I'm
that
sorry,
the other day.
I'm not like laughing,
You're laughing
at you.
at me.
No, I'm not. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at people
Rude.
who turn the lights on and off. But John still gets stressed out with like a disorderly environment, and but he has gotten a lot better with Tiana because I said like the point of having a house is to live in it. Yes, we like to clean up every night. We like to wake up to a clean house in the morning, but like during the day, you don't want to spend all your time just like picking up after your kid.
Guys, that'll wrap up this assumptions Q&A style vlog. I hope you guys had a good time and enjoyed the assumptions.
Should we tell them some
How
of
about
the
the one
mean
that
stuff
said
people wrote?
the one said I look off?
Someone said John looked off, but someone else said that I look a lot older than I am and there's something wrong with my face and I need to eat more protein.
That's fair.
Oh wait, I forgot one.
What?
There was an assumption that I make you be vegan.
Not at all.
I can put my glasses back on now, so the light reflects, that's why I took them off, but I can't see, so there you go.
So, thank you guys so much for following along.
This
And
is
if
a
you
fun
guys
one.
could do us a huge favor, not only like and subscribe, we appreciate that, but also hit the bell notification button so it alerts you when we put out new videos so you don't miss them. We'd appreciate you doing that for us.
And
That's
we'll
it.
see you on the next one.
See you guys later.
Ah!
What happened?
You pushed your whole hand into my stomach.
You okay? Oh my god.
Did you not feel it?
No.
You put your hand
Felt
right,
like a pillow.
you put your